here. We're going to work on a guessing game. And I'm going to jump here to Module 6. Right, got it. Okay, so guessing game. The guessing game is pretty simple. And I'm going to use this design pattern right here again of checking to see if it's numeric, because we want to see if we can guess the right number. Actually, I'm going to skip this design pattern. I'm going to keep it real simple. Okay, so we're going to say str guess equals input guess my number. Okay, remember we did this already once, but it only went through once. It only gave them one try to guess the number correctly. So we're going to rebuild it, import random, and then we're going to use that random to provide us with an int. That's the secret number. I'm going to say random dot randint, and I'm going to go from 1 to 10. And so I'm going to start out up here with how many guesses they get. Int guesses. I'll say total guesses. That's a long variable name, but I'll just live with it. I'm going to say they get 3 guesses. Okay, so I'm going to say while int guess number is less than or equal to int total guesses. So what is this int guess number that we're talking about? What is that? I want to keep track of what guess they're on, right? So I'm going to say int guess number equals 1, because they're going to start on their first guess. So now, as long as they have a number of guesses that is less than or equal to the total number of guesses they get, they can guess again. So I'm going to get their number. I'm going to change it to an int. Now, this would be a good time for me to make sure that it's numeric, but I'm going to just put that aside for right now just to focus on the main part of this program. I can come back and add that in a minute. So now I have the guess, the secret number from the computer, and I have the guess. So I want to check and see if they guess correctly. So if int guess equals, remember 2 equal signs, int secret, if they guess correctly, then I'm going to say print you are correct. The number was int secret. Okay, and make that F string so it'll print that out. And if they guess correct, do I need to keep giving them more shots to guess it? No, we're done. So what do I put here? Break, because I want to leave the loop. If they guess correct, we're done. Now, if they don't guess correct, I could just tell them that's not the right number. So I could put an else here and just say that's not correct. Let's start out with that. Print that's not correct. And then if it's not correct, then it will continue in the loop. And I want to move to the next guess. So I'm a plus equals 1 on int guess number. So it'll say, okay, they're on guess number 1. Guess my number, check to see if it's correct. If it's not, it will continue the loop, and we're going to add to int guess number so that when it gets to 3, it'll exit the loop. Okay, so now if it goes through the whole loop, then at the end of the game, I want to print out the secret number. The secret number was int secret. So no matter what, at the end of the game, they get to know what it was. So let's run this and see what happens. So guess my number. I'll try 5. That's not correct. Guess my number. 7, 8. Okay, the secret number was 10. But I can make this game a little more interesting, right? Wouldn't it be easier? It would be better if I gave a hint. So I'm going to say elif instead of else here, and I'm going to say if int guess is less than int secret, then I'm going to say you guessed too low. And I'm going to change else now. If they didn't guess too low and it's not correct, then it must have guessed too high. So I'm going to print you guessed too high. So now I can maybe have a little bit better shot at figuring out the secret number. Guess my number. I'm going to start at 5. You guessed too high, so it has to be 1, 2, 3, or 4. So I'll try 3. You guessed too low. I think I know what it is. You're correct. The secret number was 4. So now I have that, right? So now if I want to make sure that the program doesn't crash, if somebody types something like this, then I would come back here and I would use that design pattern that I talked about, where I say, okay, well, let's put this inside a while, true, and we're going to ask them that until they give us a number that works. So if str guess is numeric, then we break and move on. And if not, then we print you must enter digits. Okay. So there's this. Now if I type 2 like this, it will just say you must enter digits. But now what if I type 100? Well, it's only between 1 and 10, but I didn't tell the user that. So how about if I enhance this a little bit more? So I'm going to say int max or int min equals 1, int max equals 10, and now I can put those in here. I showed you this last time we did the guessing game, but now it's even better. Int min to int max. So I'm using these variables now to communicate with the user. But there's an interesting thing here. I'm not forcing them to stay within those boundaries. So here's a great place for me to use Boolean logic. I can use those Boolean operators. I'm going to say and. I'm going to say int strGuess is less than int max, less than or equal to int max, and the int version of strGuess is greater than or equal to int minimum. So now all of these have to be true. It has to be numeric. If it's not numeric, it's going to stop right there. If it is numeric, it'll go on, it'll convert it to an integer, and it'll say, is it less than or equal to the maximum? And also, is it less than or equal to, or greater than or equal to the minimum? So now, if all of those aren't satisfied, I'm going to say int min and int max. So this is how you go into the details of something to make sure that what you're doing is really, really tightly controlled. So guess my number between 1 and 10. Should have put a parentheses there for just appearances. But if I say 100, now it'll say you must enter digits between 1 and 10. So now I can continue the game. You guessed too high. You're correct. The number was 3. Okay. So now this is what we call a fairly robust program that really takes care of controlling what the user can enter. And so this is a case where you're using multiple ands, because what that means is all 3 of these things have to be true. And if any one of those is not true, the whole thing becomes false. That's what and means. So got a lot going on here. And I know this is overwhelming. We're not going to be doing this sort of stuff just yet. This isn't what I expect from you at this point in the class. But I want to show you what's possible and where we're headed in terms of checking our inputs and data and stuff like that. So for